We took a sneaky side trip across to Lady Musgrave Island on the way down. Finally, we managed to get here after at least 3 goes. We had a gorgeous flat lagoon and sunny skies with turtles all around. Until we suddenly didn't.
We are on our way to Bundaberg after a fairly ordinary night of nothing less than 25 knot winds, and for one period there it was a good sustained 35, 37. The highest we got was 38.5, I'm told. That was pretty yucky. We were on a mooring, so at least we weren't dragging. There was a couple other boats in there we heard on the radio that were dragging. So we were pretty fortunate to at least have a secure mooring. But of course, right through that was till 4:30 a.m. and then now here we are at 6 a.m. We've left the anchorage and we've got 5 knots of wind behind us. So we've got 2 knots of apparent wind. So it's feast or famine. You either get it all or you get nothing, it seems. There's a bigger storm, well, maybe bigger storm, predicted for this afternoon. What we had last night was not predicted, but they have predicted one for today. So I'm sure that'll be at least as nasty as that, and we certainly don't want to be staying there again through that. So we'll get tucked up somewhere in the Burnett River and try and stay out of its way.
We've found ourselves at the City Reach part of the Burnett River in Bundaberg, and it's a good spot. There's been a little bit of storm activity, but this here is very calm. We've got another storm coming tonight, so we're going to ride that out, and then we'll be on our way as of tomorrow. But just here is a small dinghy dock, and that is a public dinghy dock where you can leave your tender and go into the city, and then it's, you know, a 5-minute walk up the road to get to the IGA, and it's got, you know, the right kind of groceries to get you out of trouble. You can do a bin run up there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So you can see that up there, and then next to it is another pontoon, but that is a commercial one, so you're not allowed to use that, and it's got a locked gate. But this one from the middle of the river, if you look down the end there, there's the main bridge, and you can anchor pretty much anywhere along in the river. There is a little bit of debris underneath to be worried about, but we're perfectly fine where we are right now. We didn't give the mangroves a go. We haven't got any bait, so we didn't get a chance to put the pots in. But over here, disappointingly, there is a pontoon here, but you can't use it. There's no cleats to tie your tender up to. But that building is the Bundy Social, and it's kind of a revamp of their RSL club. And you know what? The food was pretty good. So I rate it. It was fine to go up there and have a bite to eat. So yeah, this has been a good little stay to get us out of strife and just to bide our time for some of this fairly wicked storm weather that we've had.
Oh! No, it's not numb.
Not numb?
No,
I think it's crazy for you to try and do it because you can't see the direction you have to go.
I can feel the direction of the bloody thing. I'm pulling it like
the correct way. Okay, so that's just covering the other treble so we don't accidentally bring that into play.
I'll give it a little pull and see. So you reckon like that?
Yep.
Oh,
There you are.
Not even any meat.
Not even any meat.
No, it's good. It's tiny little
It makes you wonder how the fish get off, doesn't it?
Up further in the reach on the way back out, there are some fairly narrow and shallow spots, so you've just got to go through on the high. So we'll do that tomorrow morning and take ourselves back up this way, back towards the mouth of the river where it goes out into the ocean. There's a spot called Charmer Reach or Charmer Point, and we'll just pull up stumps there. There's not going to be a lot of wind tomorrow, so we'll use that just to traverse the river and get rid of this section of the run, and then tomorrow make our way back down to Hervey Bay where we'll continue the trek to get back to Brizzy. It's weird, we're getting these storm after storm after storm, and then there's northerlies, which is great, but now it's suddenly gone back to southeasterly. So anyway, we're not in a hurry, so we'll just bide our time and make our way slowly back down, and hopefully this is the end of these massive storms. This storm cell system hopefully is gone, and we can make our way out of here. But a good spot to stay, and it certainly wasn't any major issue to get down here, so I'm kind of happy that we got ourselves into the river system here and had an opportunity to get into Bundy, which has a soft spot in my heart. So anyway, onward and downward we go. Just doing the final preps and getting ready to get out of here. This is Charmer Point in the Burnett River in Bundaberg. Has been a really nice stay for this one night. So we started further up this end. We went right down the very end of the river down to where the bridge is, which is called City Reach, and that was brilliant. We were there through some stormy weather, and it got pretty hectic apparently out there, but we really didn't feel it at all down there. It was really protected. Slightly muddy bottom, but it was a really good stay. You can get straight into town. There's a dinghy tie up, good for provisioning. So it's a long, windy road to get down there, but it was absolutely worth it through those storms, because we heard that there were people in here that suffered 65 knot winds. He said he caught it on camera, so I can only believe him that that's what it hit in here. He said the swell got right up, that several of these boats had dragged and a couple of them into each other, and it was pretty bad in this section. So that was the northerly that came through, and that was a fairly significant storm that hit through here, and yet we were perfectly fine right down the other end. So that's the hot tip. Here for lighter winds, here if it's a sou'easter, but not here for a northerly, and certainly not here in a storm. So we're just doing the final touches, and then we're going to make our way down towards Hervey Bay. Destination currently not completely firm, but we'll check out what the wind is like and figure out our destination from there, just to make sure we're in a well-protected spot for what is meant to be an easterly tonight. So I don't know what the weather's doing. It's supposed to be northerlies at the minute, but anyway, we'll take ourselves off and get cracking. brand new rod and it's got a fish. Giddy up. This is the very top of Fraser or Gari Island. The beach that you can see in the back is taking you around to Rooney Point. So we've come up high because we've needed the wind and we're going to tack very shortly.
Here we are at Rooney Point, the tip of Fraser Island, or Kagari, however you'd like to say it. We were going to Pancake Creek initially from Bundaberg this morning, but the wind angle didn't prove to help us out with that, so we have zigzagged our way across the bay over here to Rooney Point. We've got a magnificent sunset in that direction, and very shortly, apparently we're having a super moon, full moon coming up tonight, which should be pretty awesome. Oh, there it is. Wow, it is super. Wait a moment. But it's right on just on the horizon, on that tree line. It looks big. Kim, come up here. You got to see this. Wow, that's very cool. Anyway, we're here and we've anchored. It's a little bit rolly, but I'm hoping it's going to get better than that. I just saw a. Oh look, there he is, dugong.
Sea cow.
Sea cow. We've got dugongs. We've got tuna busting up around us. We've got a full moon over here. Look at that, coming up over the tree line. So yeah, it's all happening. We're just about to. I've got a mackerel on the way over, so we're going to have some ceviche shortly and a bit of a sundowner because it was quite a long day. And enjoy the moonrise and the sunset. Magnificent. Great stuff.
I genuinely don't know which way to look. We've got sunset in the back and moonrise in the front. Just spectacular.
Yeah. That's awesome. Cheers.
Cheers to you too.
We are just moving from Rooney Point a little bit further south along the coast to try and escape the southeasterly winds. It's not horrendous, but it's not comfortable where we were. So it may well be the same where we're going, only a couple of kilometres down the coast, but it might be a little bit more protective from those southeaster winds. The worst of it will be from about now and for the next 3 or 4 hours, and then it'll gradually drop away to a couple of very nice days along here. We've got a line out, hoping to pick up a snappy fish. We've been surrounded by boats trawling beside us this morning. This is obviously a very popular fishing spot. I know that small marlin are caught regularly here, so who knows what we might get. But with any luck, the anchorage just up here will be slightly better than what we had, hopefully a lot better.
Still making our way through here to Big Woody Island. We're in Platypus Bay. Just around here is Coongal Creek, where we had the absolute worst anchorage of our existence in there, so we're a bit hesitant to ever stay there again. But then following the bay around, it's really beautiful out here. At the end of the beach here, that's with Watumba Creek. And then a little further around where you can see the hills, just in behind that was where we were at Station Hill. And then we were last night and the first night we got in here, right at the very tip, which is Rooney Point, which was really good last night. It was very flat and very calm given the northerly conditions, so that was a good choice to go there. But she curves right around and it's just really stunning scenery, beautiful white beaches, gorgeous blue water. And today's forecast was for 18 knots of wind. We are barely in 6, so we're a bit floggy, but hopefully it picks up soon. But we will keep making our way down and find our way into the beginning of the Sandy Straits so that we can ride out a couple of days of a bit windy weather from a northerly direction, which is not great out here in the bay. So we carry on. We're sailing towards Turkey Island. It's still a nor'wester, so that should be something that'll tuck us up, but we're sailing right into a storm. Very dark clouds. There's been thunder. So some might say exciting.
We're heading down to the bottom of Turkey Island to seek shelter, but from the wind. And on our way down here, we've got this storm bearing down on us at the moment. It looks like it's just about to unleash. Things are pretty placid at the moment. We've got about 12, 13 knots of true wind, and we're going with it, so it's about 10 knots apparent. We've got another monohull following us. We're weaving down through the channel markers at the moment, and just very carefully watching the sky for when it opens up or that sudden wind change that could easily come. We've just got the Genoa out at the moment, which is fine. We're just cruising along at about 5 knots. But things could change very quickly, so we want to be ready for that. Everything should be, I mean, lightning is the only thing that you can't do anything about. It does look very ominous, but there's nowhere else between here and our destination to hide anyway, and that won't protect us from lightning. So we're just doing what we have to do to get there. Fingers crossed.
It's from one extreme to the other. A couple of days ago, lightning, strong winds, rain, and today, glassy as. How brilliant. They do say the tide goes out a long way, so to be careful about how high up you bring your dinghy. We've left ours out for that exact reason of feeling quite chuffed with ourselves given our recent adventures coming back to the boat and realising that we were high and dry. But here is the little bar right on the wharf, so we'll do the right thing and have a beer with them.
Take overnight, replaces day. Laptop lights flicker, dancing shadows by the wall, buzzing in the quiet like a distant city call. Earbuds in ears, soundscapes, painting skies, chasing constellations and mocha-colored eyes. Tune me into the static, just let the rhythm flow. Waves of calm and magic, watch the world go slow. Lost in the ebb and current, where worries float away. Let the beats take over, night replaces day. No rush, no fuss, just a dreamy kind of state. Thoughts like fireflies lighting up the gray, sketching thoughts on mist, not knowing what's beneath. Every note a journey, every lyric a new breath. Tune me into the static, just let the rhythm flow. Waves of calm and magic, watch the world go.
Just near the jetty is this walking track. We don't know where it goes, but we're going up just to see. Why not? An adventure.
In the corner of my room I sit and dream out loud, thoughts drifting like a lazy cloud, hazy but proud, scribbled notes in a careless stack, heart beating slow in my lo-fi cocoon where the time loses its glow. Tune me into the static, just let the rhythm flow. Waves of calm and magic, watch the world go slow. Lost in the ebb and current, where worries float away. Let the beats take over, like a distant city call. Earbuds in ears, soundscapes, painting skies, chasing constellations and mocha-colored eyes. Tune me into the static, just let the rhythm flow. Waves of calm and magic, watch the world go slow. Lost in the ebb and current, where worries float away. Let the beats take over, night replaces day.
The trees in here are super cool.
No rush, no fuss, just a dreamy kind of state. Thoughts like fireflies lighting up the gray, sketching thoughts on mist, not knowing what's beneath. Every note a journey, every lyric a new breath. Tune me into the static, just let the rhythm flow. Waves of calm and magic, watch the world go slow. Lost in the ebb and current, where worries float away. Let the beats take over, night replaces day.
Good morning from the Sandy Straits. We are 4:30 up. This is now 5 o'clock. We are underway. We stayed the last couple of nights over here, which is a place called Turkey Island. Great anchorage for a northerly, really calm, a little bit bumpy in the afternoon as the wind came round, but to be honest, from a bit of swell. But last night again, flat as a tack. So both nights has been a really good decision to stay there, nicely tucked up away behind that bit of land. But this morning we are off down the Sandy Strait. We've been greeted by this absolutely beautiful sunrise. I don't mind being up this early when you get such a gorgeous view. So there's 3 ways to go down the channel. Normally you go out round to the right, but we've watched the last few days quite a number of boats go down this left-hand channel, and it only has one little shallow spot versus several on the right-hand channel. So Jason bravely has opted to go down this left-hand channel, and we're going to give that a go. So I've actually been banned from sitting in the cockpit and looking at the depth, because I tend to be one to call it out when I get a little bit nervous, and he believes he doesn't need that today, that he's got it. So I'm going to leave him to it and just sit here and enjoy this gorgeous sunrise.
We've just come through Sheridan Flats, but not the prescribed way. I was watching boats come through here yesterday as we were anchored nearby, and I plotted a course based on where a couple of other boats went. There's a couple of, it's the shallowest part of the Sandy Straits, and as those boats came through, they took an alternative channel instead of following the lateral markers, and we took a bit of a punt this morning by following the same route, which was excellent. It was, the shallowest we saw was 2.4 metres under the keel, whereas you go around the other way, the prescribed way is much shallower than that, and this way is actually shorter, significantly shorter as well. So yeah, it's really one of those things, I suppose, where you weigh up the risks and benefits. We're an hour before the high tide, so the water is up. Had we have run aground, and I say run aground, it's all sand, But had we have done that, we had another hour of tide to come in, which should have lifted us off, and we could have dealt with that then. But fortunately that didn't happen, and we're through there now onto Gary's anchorage.
So while we had originally intended to pop into Gary's on the way down, we've done a full weather check again this morning, and it looks like the weather window is tomorrow. Looking at the tide times for the Wide Bay Bar and for the Mooloolaba Bar, looking at sea state, the strength of the wind for the next couple of days is solid, but it's also northerly and northwest. So that is a better option for us to use to try and get down. It's turning southeasterly for the next kind of week, which leaves us trapped, if you like, if you can be trapped somewhere here in this fabulous part of the world. But it does leave us kind of stuck here for at least a week, and by then the tide times for Mooloolaba start to not work in our favour. So it's a better option to get out now. It'll be raining tomorrow, so that's not going to be fun, but from a sea state, tide time and wind state, it is a better choice. So we made a last second decision not to go into Gary's, and we're now headed further up, down towards Inskip, so that we can have a few hours sleep there overnight and get up at 4:30 and skedaddle down and be with family sooner than expected. So onward we go. Inskip Point is a little breezy, so we didn't get off the boat. It's going to be like this till about 6 o'clock, and then it should settle down a little bit, and then it'll be fine tomorrow to go across the bar, but yeah, righto.